Everybody, what's up? So I'm basically in the midst of recording a lesson for one of my club members, and I wanted to show y'all a piece of it. All right, I'm basically doing a tutorial on sus type chords. So just to let you know what I'm actually doing, and I'm using the song. It's called "The Blessing." It's like the Lord keep you. Some people say the Lord keep you, or something like that. But the name of the song is called "The Blessing." And let me actually get the actual name of the song. I know that the name of the song is "The Blessing," but it is "The Lord bless you and keep you." That's like a part of the lyrics. Okay. The chords are just very useful to explain something, okay? But that's the song that I'm using. Now, the chord progression is a 1. Let me take this. I'm going to use this capo, but I'm going to come back to that. So, in the key of B, that's B major, E major, A flat minor, and a G flat, F sharp major. So in number form, it is 1, 4, 6, 5. You got B major. That's the 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Just to give you some context. Scale or okay, all of those same scale, same intervals, just different places. Okay. All right. So what I want to show him is basically how you can play the chords regular. Okay. And you can play a B major here or here. You can play a E major here or here or here. Okay. You can play A flat minor here, or you can do this. Okay, you can do it up here, or you can do this 5, which is the G flat. Okay, or actually, you can do it here. Actually, sorry. So there's like a bunch of different ways that you can play it. But we're going to keep it down here. Now, in all honesty, regular major chords gets a little boring sometimes. All right. I know that I show y'all major chords, but the stuff I show y'all is not all the stuff at all. I'm showing you the chords because that's like the common understanding of how to play chords. But there are ways to play chords to make movement a little more graceful. All right. Sometimes it becomes a little sterile when you just hear now the cool thing is that you can make note of what is happening on one string. All right. So if you kind of record or kind of pay attention to what you're playing, but zone in on one string, like for now, zone in on the high E string, play the chords, but just zone in on one string. Okay, so you can play this. So you notice what melody is being played is it's just something to look for. So if you're playing regular major chords, this is something I would zone in on. Don't just go and just, gets a little boring. It's like, what are we going to do next? Let's zone in on the B string. Okay. Let's go here. So I'm basically kind of plucking the B string, playing the chords with the emphasis on the B string, basically. So it gives us something else to do. So the E string was this. No, it was this. On the B string was this. It was so if you put them together, it's oh, actually it's, so it gives you something else. It gives you another option. Okay, you can use your hammer-ons. That was wrong. It's something, it's a different way to look at it. Okay. Now let me give you another perspective, because just because the song is in an open position with one of the chords, actually just one of the chords, it's not really open position, but you can play the E major. You can play that open. Well, if you use the capo, put it on the 2nd fret so that you can play an open B, which is really like you're playing an open A, is kind of how you're going to use it. You can now sort of use more sustaining chords, and then you can play your E that I played up here, which you can play this shape. You can play your A flat minor, and then your G flat this way. Keep in mind that you can also go to the 4th fret, right? You can play your B right here. And what was the next one? E. And the next one was, oh, right here. Okay. Then you have this. So you can have some options if you move your capo around and you know what your intervals are. I like, in this explanation, I actually want to go back to the 2nd fret, because I can go up and use it in different ways. All right. Now, so what I want to do now is actually highlight how to, instead of moving notes around, find one note that you can make ring the entire chord progression, and sometimes two. All right, so here's the B major, here's the E major, here's the A flat minor, here's the G flat. So if I am to use sus 2 chords, which is, if you are to play this B major and lift your pinky to where this note right here on the 4th fret is now playing that note. All right. And now you're only using 2 fingers. You're only fretting. So this is what you're using now. Now this actually works when someone is playing a major chord. This can work on top of that too. I mean, people like it. But this note also right here is also up here. So you can also play that major chord, like play it like you would regularly. I do it interchangeably. I go here sometimes, and sometimes I flat those 3 strings here. So you can, or you can play it. both of them work, but just know that this note, they're in different places, but you can add it there. Okay, so now why I like this is because you can actually hammer on. You can use your hammer on with this. You can do that. Okay, now this next chord is not a sus chord, but you can sort of use it with the sus chords. It's actually an 11 chord. It's a minor 11 chord, but you can go to what is this, A flat? So instead of playing this, or even a A flat minor 7th. Now we're going to use that minor 7th, but we're not going to play the 5th because our fingers can't really reach it unless we do that. But here's that chord. And I'm basically utilizing the same shape as the B sus2, but I'm just playing this note in the bass. And I'm not playing the A string, okay? So actually that it will work though. It gets a little muddy, but just skip the A string. So let's go back to the B sus2, the E, but let's play an E sus2. And the way you play that is now you're going to lift what you're playing on the E string, the high E string, and just play the B and G string in its place. It sounds like this. Instead of this, it sounds like this. Do the A flat minor 11, and instead of on the 5, you're playing the G flat major, but you can do a G flat sus4. So instead of this, you're playing this. So what ends up happening now is this. It's going to feel like the chords are staying the same, but they're not. But you got to make sense of what you're doing. That's really what it comes down to. So instead of going like this, and you can kind of interchange because you want some options, okay? Okay. Now, here's the sus2. So it turns into something that it sounds like you're doing the same thing the whole time. So and it actually works. It actually works over the chord progression. So I'm going to play this, and I'm actually going to, along with, let me bring it down some. So now I'm going to play these notes over top, okay? Here we go. Now, one thing I want to do is to not muddy up the sound. I won't typically play the bass notes with it, like. Like it can sort of get in the way, okay? But it sounds more pleasant to me if you do more like a finger picking style. just gives more articulation with what you're playing. So if I were to sort of implement that, and you can sort of hear how that sounds. And then it gives you more options when you want to add melody to it as well. But notice this note right here is almost staying the same the whole time. It's going here, but other than that, it's staying the same. And notice the chords that I'm playing, that I'm strumming in the recording, are straight major and minor. But what I'm playing over top of it are sus chords in the minor 11. So just adding a little more movement. And that might get boring to some people too. But I'm just saying, you got more to do, you know, except instead of just playing straight major minor. But because you have those options, you can implement those. So it gives you more options. And then figure out your melody and all that other stuff. But however you want to do it. I ain't really practiced it before I did the video, so excuse me. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share. Just you don't have to stick to the major and minor. You have choices. So instead of this, you're playing this. Instead of this, you're playing this. Instead of this, you're playing this. Or you can play this. And then instead of this, you're playing this. Okay, so. And that is pretty much it. Didn't want to go much past that, but I'm going to finish explaining this in the community, a little more in depth, so that he can get it. And if y'all want to sign up, come on through. All right, link is in the description and in my bio. You can do that. But yeah, the rest of the video is going to him so that he can get the full understanding, and whoever else is in the community can benefit from this too, because I post it and everyone else sees it as well, and they can gain understanding from it as well. So, all right, subscribe if you would like. And I think that is pretty much it. Let me know if you have some questions, and I can definitely touch on much of it. But if you really want to go, in on it, let me know as well. All right. Peace. Oh, I didn't do this. You're supposed to do and I don't like doing it all the time. But all right, y'all. Have a nice day. Peace.